It's Breakfast Central on News Central. Now, over 20 million people said to be suffering from high blood pressure are indeed definitely in Nigeria. Well, according to research, this number is calculated as 30.7% among men and 25.2% among women. So, what is exactly high blood pressure? Well, if you ask the average Nigerian, the first answer that might come to mind is a stroke. Yes. Well, while this is erroneous, I beg your pardon, it is not entirely false. And today, we'll take some time out to find out what you should know about high blood pressure, what I should know, and what we can actually do to ensure that we manage the situation. It will also shock you to know that a lot of people who are or who you are with definitely have this particular high blood pressure. Well, joining us today on the show is medical doctor, Dr. Olabisa Ibukuonola Yusuf, who will be telling us all you need to know about high blood pressure. Good morning, Olabisi, and thank you for being here on Breakfast Central.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Joe. Hi.
Good
Hi, everyone.
morning. Good morning, doctor. Now, first of all, can you just break it down in layman's terms? I mean, the simplest possible way ever within the shortest possible time. Can you break down what blood pressure is for our viewers?
Okay, thank you very much. If you are familiar with that blood pressure monitor, you will see that there are two bold numbers on it. So there are other numbers, but these two are really bold. So blood pressure, hypertension or high blood pressure means that the first number is greater than 140, and that second number is greater than 90. So it is defined as a blood pressure reading of greater than 140, greater than 90 millimeters mercury at two separate readings at rest. That is what blood pressure, high blood pressure means.
Okay, so basically you're saying you're gonna if you have the blood pressure device, there are two different figures. The upper one, once it's above 140, it is
Yes.
viewed as high blood pressure, and the lower figure, once it's also above 90, it is viewed as high blood pressure. So 140 over 90, because that's the very phrase I hear in hospitals a lot. 140 over 90. So anything above those two figures would be termed as high blood pressure. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So,
So,
I mean, sorry, Lucha, I have to come in here. Hold on. So, how does one get? Wait. So, 140. What should be the normal calculation? What should be the normal figure? If your blood is not high, what figures should you see
or
there?
range.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you. The normal blood pressure range should be between 90 to 120. That is the up figure. And then the other one should be between 60 and 80.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All
So
right.
So which leaves room for one between 120 to 140 and between 80 to 90. Remember, high blood pressure means greater than 140, 90. And
Okay.
I'm saying normal blood pressure should be 120, 80. So those other figures means that they are in pre-hypertensive range, pre-hypertensive stage.
you're
Hmm.
giving us terminologies now,
Pre hyper
medical
pre
terminologies
hypertension.
at this
Okay.
point in time. But I mean, can you just bring us up to speed to the leading cause of high blood pressure? We do understand that there are different lifestyle, different things that can lead to high blood pressure. We're looking at the leading cause of high blood pressure, especially to the African nation.
Um, Thank you for mentioning the African nation. I think that is number one leading cause of hypertension. The black race. We are black, so we are maybe 10 times more at risk of having hypertension than
Why?
whites.
Why is
Yeah,
it that way?
is that?
Why is it that way? Why are we 10 times more susceptible to it?
Well, they
Just
are
because I'm
like
black? I
a
didn't cross myself
zillion.
now.
Hmm.
Well, the same way we didn't pick to be born as male or female, whereas male they are at more risk of having hypertension, than female. So, these things just happen. As per statistics, we realize that okay, high blood pressure is higher in blacks than it is in whites, and higher in male than it is in female. These things just happen.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Joe, I need to be very
Okay,
watchful of you
okay. Hold on.
this time.
What are the early signs of high blood pressure? What are the signs?
Okay, so the signs, they are like non-specific. They are vague symptoms even. and you can attribute them to other things. But usually, when you've ruled out other causes of these things, then you can look at your blood pressure as well. Number one is headaches, frequent headaches. If you keep having headaches and it's not malaria or something else, yeah, we should check the blood pressure. And there are other things, people who don't sleep well, they are at more risk of having high blood pressure, chest pain, blurry vision. You have this heart condition where your heart is beating fast. You notice it. Yeah, these things, they are signs to look out for when you're thinking of high blood pressure.
Wow. I mean, you're just giving us checklist, and I'm just looking at Joe, and I'm checking the list for Joe. I'm just looking out for him. He's my co-anchor, so I have to look out for him. But now, a lot of us find ourselves in this situation. I know people who have this high blood pressure scenario, and I know people who are on the verge of getting into it. Now, once you're already there, how can one manage this situation? We know there's no cure. We understand there's no cure to it, but how can it be managed?
Okay. First, I need you to note that high blood pressure is a lifelong condition. Once you've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, you need to take your medication all through your life. Like through every day, you need to take that medication. Also, there's the clinic attendance where people leave out of the management of high blood pressure. You need to also attend clinics regularly. It could be maybe monthly, it could be twice in a month, it could be quarterly, depending on your doctor's appointment. But the two of them combined is the management of somebody diagnosed already with high blood pressure. So other management, which are non-drug management, we cannot overemphasize. You need to watch your diet. You need to eat healthy. I mean, it just saves us from a whole lot of things. So then there's also salt intake. You need to reduce salt intake. There are also some spices that contain sodium, sodium being the active ingredient of salt. So watch salt intake, watch other sodium containing stock cubes to watch their intake. Also exercise. You need to exercise depending on your age or how far you can go. Even if it's brisk walking every day, I mean that is fine. So far as you are doing some form of exercise. And then there's also the you need to hydrate. I mean, we cannot talk, we cannot overemphasize your need to hydrate. And also exercise. Okay, I mentioned exercise earlier. The diet as well. Yeah, these things they help keep blood pressure in control.
But I mean, we live in a city that is filled up with chaotic situations. There's a hustle and bustle, the drive, the go get it. I mean, we wake up as early as 3 a.m. or
Yes.
4:30 a.m. 4 a.m. You need to leave home. There's traffic, chaotic situation, like I rightly said. 2 hours in traffic getting to work, possibly 2 hours coming home. The only thing you find on the road is just to get sausage roll and probably a
A
pet
drink or
drink,
two.
and you're on the move again. It continues like that, and sometimes you just end up eating whatever we can eat, bread and beans,
B and B.
yeah, akara and ogi and so on. Is there a remedy for this kind of lifestyle, and is there any remedy that will help all who engage in this lifestyle from having high blood pressure?
Honestly, dwelling in urban areas such as Lagos is like one of the risk factors. Stress is one of the risk factors for high blood pressure. So, well, all we could do is, try to distress more and eat healthy. You can make a simple breakfast before you leave the house. That could be maybe oats without milk, without sugar. If you like to sweeten it, you could put honey in it. Yeah, that is good. You could have maybe an apple or something. You could maybe eat bread or egg. Just take a simple breakfast. That reduces your need to eat junks during the day. And then
Doctor.
for your lunch break,
Doctor, you see that simple breakfast you're calling for some people, it doesn't really, it won't go down well with them because some people might like fufu and egusi as early as 2 or 4 a.m. in the morning. But we talked about high blood pressure, which is an extreme. Can you also tell us the difference between the high blood pressure on one hand and the low blood pressure on the other? I mean, what's the difference between the two?
Okay, so high blood pressure, like I earlier mentioned, is high blood pressure reading greater than 140/90, while
149.
the normal range is between 90/60 and 120/80. So the low blood pressure, hypotension, is blood pressure reading of less than 90 and less than 60. 90 being the systolic reading, while 60 being the diastolic, that is the first number and the second number. Yes. So that figure constitutes what makes hypotension, which is also known as low blood pressure.
Mm. Well, finally, let me ask this question before I rest my case. I mean, you've broken down ways to avoid it, things you need to do, and so on. But there are latest reports that high BP is no respecter of age. Latest reports that people of the age of 19, 20 are getting high blood pressure in Lagos and in other African countries that are known to be very chaotic. Is it really true? And if that's happening, what is that? What sign? What does that show?
It is alarming. I've had an 18-year-old boy walk into my consulting room before with blood pressure of 230,
Ah,
190.
mm,
And I was like, this is a walking dead man. Anything could happen to him right now. I had to admit and start trying to bring down that blood pressure as gradual as I can. So these things happen now. Of course, increasing age is one of the risk factors, but it doesn't mean that somebody can have blood pressure, high blood pressure at any age. There are a lot of other factors: smoking, excessive alcohol intake, family history, obesity. These things also affect blood pressure reading. So I mean, we just have to watch our health. As young people, as older people, we need to make sure that we are being mindful, we are being watchful of our health, so that we just don't, unnecessarily predispose ourselves to hypertension,
Yeah, so we,
irrespective
we
of
also do
any
not
age.
want to lose any young one, young or old. Eventually, it's never a good thing to lose anyone in any circumstance or anyway. But thank you so much, medical doctor Olabisa Ibukuonola Yusuf. Thank you once again for shedding more light on blood pressure, both the high and the low.
Thank you very much for having me.
all right. Wow, wow. That's honestly a lot to learn. A lot
Uh,
of it's eye opening, I must say.
It is. We have to change our lifestyle, Joe.
Change
I
your
mean, so
lifestyle,
you see
change what
the
you
B and
eat.
B, the fufu and egusis that you like to have by 5 a.m. You might have to, reduce that. Your ikpan koko afia ferry, that early in the morning. I understand how that can elevate your spirit
What
sometimes.
shocked me was when Dr. Bukola said someone walked into the medical room and 18 years.
Yeah.
You know, truly, I think like she also rightly mentioned, a lot of checks need to be done.
But
So
Joe, it's easier
just,
said than done. Joe, the
I
lifestyle
agree.
we
I
live, Lagos,
I agree.
the state, Lagos state, is synonymous, almost synonymous, as some people will say, to stress.
You've got many other states as well in Africa that are equally very, very. In short, I have a friend in Ghana as well, in Accra, who is saying that there are certain jobs you do that will also warrant that you wake up early and you need to leave very, very early. Um, if you speak to people who also live in places like Zambia as well, or even in Harare in
Harare,
Zimbabwe,
Zimbabwe.
they will tell you that, okay, fine, yeah, the topography, the nature of everything looks a bit soft, nice, and calming, but stress can come in different forms as
I
well.
agree. I agree. We all just have to change our lifestyle. And if possible, I mean, I know medical doctors always advise that we get the blood pressure kits in the house, always have that so you
I
can
need to
always
go get
check it
that.
yourself.
I need to
I
go
have
get
that in
that.
the house
I
because
don't
my,
have
my
that.
husband is high blood pressure prone, so he's on that verge in between the red and the orange light. And so I always have to advise him to check
Check.
every day. For every little headache he has, he needs to check. That's the first thing you need to check. You need to take your medication. Now, the medication is for a lifetime. I mean,
Yeah,
once you start, it's a
yeah.
lifestyle you have
You
to
don't
keep up
stop.
with. You cannot stop it. So please, everyone, we are advising at this point in time to please ensure that you either change your lifestyle, regulate it, and if you know you fall in the category of people who have the blood pressure situation, please do all you can to stick to your medication.